My girlfriend Natalie, 29, spent months planning her big birthday celebration. Rented venue, long guest list, all the bells and whistles. What she never expected was the secret I uncovered 3 weeks before the event. I'm 31, and until then, I thought we had a solid relationship. For years together, 2 of them living under the same roof. Everything felt steady, until her phone habits shifted. Not the usual hiding an affair kind of secretiveness. Different. She would angle her screen away when scrolling, quickly exit apps, and seemed overly cautious. The truth came out by chance. She left her laptop open while she showered, and a Discord notification popped up. Normally I wouldn't pry, but the preview read, "Remember, if anyone asks about the fundraiser? Stick to the story." That phrase made my stomach twist. Half a year ago, Natalie organized a fundraiser for her coworker Melissa, who supposedly lost her home in a fire. Everyone pitched in: friends, coworkers, family. My family alone donated over $1,000. I gave $500, my mom $300, my brother $200. We all thought we were helping someone rebuild their life. I clicked into the chat. It was a group called Vegas Squad 2024. My hands shook as I scrolled. Melissa never had a fire. The whole thing was a scam. They split the money and blew it on a luxury trip to Las Vegas. 5 days at the Wynn bottle service shows endless shopping. Photos filled the chat. Smiling, clinking glasses, mocking how generous everyone was. The comments were sickening. "Your boyfriend's mom sent another $100, lol." Another chimed in. "Don't feel bad, they can afford it." I sat frozen, then did the only thing that made sense. Screenshot every message, every picture, every receipt of their betrayal. I even screen recorded myself scrolling, so no one could accuse me of faking evidence. When Natalie came out of the shower, I was calm, as if nothing had happened. She kissed my cheek and asked about dinner. I said pasta. Somehow, I held it together. For 3 days, I pretended everything was normal, all while making my own plans. She went on about her party, thrilled to celebrate with the same friends and family she'd conned. The audacity made me feel sick. Then one evening, her phone buzzed while she was showing me her birthday dress. I caught the Discord logo before she snatched it. Her face tightened. "Did you use my laptop earlier?" she asked. I told her I printed something for work. Her suspicion turned sharp. "You went through my messages." I stayed calm. "I saw a notification about a fundraiser. I clicked by accident." She smirked. "By accident? You were snooping." "Private conversations about stealing $8,000 from people we love," I shot back. She rolled her eyes like it was nothing. "Oh my God. Dramatic much? We didn't steal. People chose to donate. It was just a story. Melissa needed a break. We all did. Work's been hell. We deserved it." "You took money from my mom and brother," I reminded her. "They offered. Nobody forced them." "Based on a lie." That's when she said it. "Stop acting like I'm some criminal. It was just a small lie. Everyone exaggerates online. It's not that deep." I looked at her for a long moment. "Then you won't mind a small audience?" Her eyes narrowed. "What does that mean?" "Nothing," I said. But in my mind the plan was already set. The days leading up to her birthday were surreal. She spent her time strategizing with her friends, not apologizing or fixing anything. She'd sneak into the bathroom to make calls, thinking I couldn't hear. But our bathroom vent connects to the closet, and from a step stool, every word was clear. "Just say Melissa's insurance payout came in," she coached one friend. "If anyone asks about receipts, say it was gift cards and cash. Stick to the story." Meanwhile, I was setting my own stage. Her party was booked at a trendy event space downtown, complete with exposed brick, Edison bulbs, and a full AV setup, projectors, screens, the works. She had about 60 guests confirmed. What she didn't know was that her big celebration would turn into something very different. So when she argued, "Stop acting like I'm some criminal," it was just a small lie. She had no idea what was coming. Because at her party, in front of every single donor, her small lie was about to light up the wall 10 feet high. The venue Natalie booked was extravagant, the kind of place usually reserved for wedding receptions and corporate conferences. One entire wall doubled as a projection screen. And the moment I learned that detail, my plan clicked into place. A quick call to the venue confirmed everything. They'd let me hook up my laptop or plug in a USB. Even offered to test things ahead of time. They thought I was preparing a sweet surprise for my girlfriend's birthday. In a way I was. But Natalie was on edge. Days before the party, her behavior shifted. Out of nowhere, she began asking pointed questions. "You're still coming to my party, right? You're not hanging out with Melissa, are you?" It was obvious she sensed something. Then the Thursday before the big day, she tried another tactic. She came home smiling, arms full of takeout from my favorite restaurant. She set the food out, trying to soften the atmosphere. "Babe," she said carefully, opening the containers. "Maybe I was wrong. Not about doing it, but about leaving you out. What if we planned something together instead? Just the two of us. A weekend trip. Somewhere fun." I stared at her. "With what money?" Her grin was quick and rehearsed. "I've still got about $1,500 left. We could make it work." The fact she still had money sitting around from that scam made my stomach turn. "I'm fine," I told her flatly. The sweetness vanished in an instant. "Fine. Be petty. But don't you dare ruin my birthday. If you say a word, we're done." I raised an eyebrow. "Aren't we already done?" Her eyes narrowed. "That's your problem. You think life is black and white. But it's not. There are gray areas, babe. Grow up." The following night, she went out with her so-called Vegas crew. Melissa and the rest of her scam squad. Instagram lit up with their drunken selfies, tagged with captions like "Ride or Die" and "Besties Forever." I used the silence of that evening to polish my slideshow. Nothing flashy, just screenshots, lined up in order, each one marked with dates and dollar amounts. A few plain slides to explain the context. I ended it with their Vegas trip photos. Champagne bottles, shopping bags, nightclubs. It was all there. Saturday came fast. I showed up at the party fashionably late, around 7:15. The room was buzzing, catered food stations, a DJ spinning, bartenders working the open bar. She must have burned through the rest of that money to put it together. Natalie was near the bar, tiara on her head, glass in hand, surrounded by friends. When her eyes met mine, her smile flickered, but she pasted it back quickly. "Babe, you made it," she said, kissing my cheek before whispering into my ear, "Behave." I just smiled. Wouldn't miss this for the world. By 8:30, the drinks had loosened everyone up. That's when Jenna, one of the few friends not in on the scam, banged her glass with a spoon and raised it for a toast. Her words slurred slightly from the alcohol. "Natalie is honestly the most generous person I know. When Melissa's house burned down, she pulled us together, she made it happen. She has such a big heart." The crowd applauded. Melissa, standing toward the back, looked like she wanted to vanish. Natalie glowed in the spotlight. And that was my cue. "Actually," I said, standing, "since we're talking about Natalie's generosity, I put together something special about that fundraiser. Can I share?" Natalie froze. Her face drained of color. "Babe, nobody. I love slideshows." Jenna interrupted, clapping her hands. Before Natalie could react, I was already connecting my laptop to the cable. The AV guy who I'd discreetly tipped earlier had the system running instantly. The screen lit up, filling the giant wall. The first slide, the Melissa House Fire fundraiser, a full accounting. A ripple of murmurs rolled through the crowd. Natalie tried to move toward me, but her cousin held her back, thinking she was just embarrassed. Next slide, total raised, $8,147. Nods of approval followed. Then the third slide. A screenshot. The words clear for everyone to read. There was no house fire. The room went deathly quiet. I clicked again. Another screenshot. Melissa. I can't believe they actually fell for the house fire story. Gasps. Real, audible gasps. Natalie shrieked. "Turn it off. Turn it off right now." But my finger kept pressing the arrow key. One by one, their Discord conversations lit up the wall. Planning their Vegas getaway. Joking about the donors. Laughing at people's sacrifices. Screenshots of their luxury trip. And then, the line where Natalie called the donors too trusting. My mom stood frozen, reading the part where Natalie mocked her $300 donation. My brother's face was twisted with fury. Melissa tried to slip out, but people blocked her path, eyes darting between the screen and the so-called victims. Natalie lunged at me. "You psycho. Those are private messages. You can't." I clicked again. "Just a little white lie, right? Nothing serious." She swung at me in heels, missed, stumbled, and collapsed into a chair. Her tiara hit the floor with a dull clink. The final slide appeared. An itemized list of their Vegas spending. Bottle service at Omnia, $2,400. Shopping spree at the Forum Shops, $3,100. Spa packages, $800. That broke the dam. The room erupted, not in cheers but in chaos. My brother shouted at Melissa. Jenna burst into tears. Someone screamed about calling the cops. Natalie's mother, who had driven hours to attend, walked straight up to her daughter and asked in a shaking voice, "You stole from these people? From your friends?" "It wasn't stealing." Natalie screamed back, mascara running down her cheeks. "It was redistribution. They can all afford it. That's my kid's college fund," one man said softly, almost to himself. Tom, another friend, barked, "I work 2 jobs. My wife's pregnant. We gave what we could, and you blew it on bottle service." Tessa, another member of Natalie's Vegas crew, tried to smooth it over. "We'll pay it back, okay? Everyone calm down." "With what money?" someone shouted. "You already blew it." The venue manager finally appeared, clearly worried, but he didn't need to intervene. The damage was done. Guests were already streaming out, leaving half-full drinks on tables and an untouched cake. Within 10 minutes, the bustling party had dissolved into an empty, echoing hall. Natalie stood in the center of the dance floor, makeup smeared, tiara gone, still spitting excuses into the void. "You're all being dramatic," she wailed. "No one went hungry. Nobody really lost anything." But no one stayed to listen. By the time Sunday rolled around, the whole mess had blown up in ways I couldn't have predicted. My slideshow, the one I'd played at Natalie's birthday party, was circulating through our entire social circle. Screenshots were all over group chats. Someone had even recorded the moment Natalie lunged at my laptop, desperate to shut it down, and uploaded it. That video was being passed around like wildfire. Natalie, meanwhile, went into overdrive. I had 23 missed calls from her, and my voicemail was a chaotic mess of her voice swinging between fury and desperation. She screamed that I had ruined her life for no reason. Then she begged me to call her back, promising we could work things out. A few minutes later, another voicemail. Threats about suing me for exposing her private messages. Then came the tears, the pleading, "Baby, I'm sorry, I'll pay everyone back." Then, just as quickly, venom again. "You're dead to me. I hate you. I love you. Please pick up." I didn't. Monday morning, I got a call I had been dreading, her dad. I braced myself for him to tear into me, but instead his voice was weary. He told me that he and her mother were making Natalie sell her car to pay everyone back. Melissa's parents were doing the same. "We didn't raise her like this," he said. His disappointment was palpable. I told him I was sorry it had come to this. He stopped me. "No, I'm sorry for what she did to you and to all those people. That's not the daughter we thought we had." By Wednesday, Natalie was out of a job. Officially, it wasn't for the scam, but HR cited a violation of ethics. 3 of her co-workers had donated to the fake fundraiser and had been at the party. They wasted no time reporting her. Melissa scrubbed all her socials and vanished. Tessa put up a long, teary apology post, but no one bought it. She disappeared soon after. Thursday evening, I came home from work and found Natalie waiting in the hallway outside my apartment. I'd already changed the locks, so she couldn't get in with the spare key she still had. She looked disheveled, hair greasy, wearing the same clothes as the day before. Her voice was small. "Can we talk?" "No," I said flatly. "I'm paying everyone back. My dad is helping." "Good." "I lost my job." "Consequences," I replied. That's when she broke down, and for a moment, it was different from her usual theatrics. These were raw, messy tears. She wailed. "I don't understand how you could do this to me. I loved you. You stole from my mother. I reminded her. I was going to pay her back eventually. No, you weren't. How do you know that? She snapped. Because you still don't think you did anything wrong, I said. The tears stopped. Her expression hardened. And that familiar entitlement surfaced again. It was only $8,000. People waste more than that on stupid vacations and cars all the time. You're missing the point. Then what's the point? You lied. You manipulated people. You laughed about it. You didn't feel an ounce of guilt until you got caught. So you humiliated me in front of everyone. You humiliated yourself. I just showed the truth. She glared at me. You're a monster. No, I said quietly. I just don't let people steal from cancer patients and pretend it's a joke. Her face drained of color. What? Tom's wife. The pregnant one. She has lymphoma. And they still donated because they thought someone needed it more. That landed like a punch. Her shoulders slumped. I didn't know, she muttered. Because you didn't care to know. You didn't see people. You just saw wallets. She didn't argue after that. She just turned and walked away. No dramatic flounce, no last word. Just silence. A month has passed since then. Everyone's money was returned, though Natalie's parents had to take out a loan to cover the full amount right away. She moved back in with them. That little Vegas friend group? Completely shattered. Melissa moved away to start fresh. Tessa's fiancé dumped her when he discovered she had lied about saving for their wedding while secretly planning the Vegas trip. My mom checks on me constantly, convinced I must be broken from all of this. But honestly, I'm not. If anything, I feel lighter. Better to find out who Natalie really was now than after a marriage and kids. My brother can't stop calling me a legend for what I did at her birthday party. Most guys would have just dumped her, he said. You gave her a Netflix documentary ending. I don't know about that. I wasn't looking for drama. I just wanted the truth in the open. Tom, the one whose wife has cancer, messaged me last week. He said her treatment is going well, and they were able to put the refunded money back into savings. He thanked me, said he might have never known the truth otherwise. That message hit me harder than anything Natalie ever said. Funny enough, Natalie was right about one thing. It was a small lie in the grand scheme of things. And that's exactly why it was so ugly. She was willing to throw away people's trust and friendship for something petty. If she could lie about that, while laughing, what else could she lie about? I started therapy, not because I'm traumatized, but because I want to understand how I missed the signs for 4 years. My therapist said some people are just excellent at hiding who they really are. Until they think they're safe. The entitlement had always been there, just beneath the surface. Dating apps feel like a wasteland right now, so I've put that on pause. Instead, I started volunteering at a food bank. Maybe it's a strange response, but after seeing someone invent a fake tragedy to make money, I wanted to put energy into something real. Through mutual friends, I heard Natalie's been telling people I was controlling, that I spied on her finances, that I was abusive. The people who saw what went down don't believe her. As for the rest, I don't care anymore. She even texted me from a new number last week. I hope you're happy. You destroyed my life over a mistake. I blocked it. But if I'd replied, I would have said, no, you destroyed your life over a choice. I just made sure people knew. Her parents even got the venue deposit refunded. The place didn't want to keep money from an event that ended in such a train wreck. That alone says everything. So that's it. My story. Not a fairy tale ending, but not a tragedy either. Just the truth. Sometimes people reveal who they are, and when they do, you have to believe them. Even if it means projecting their lies on a giant wall in front of everyone they know. And if you're wondering, the birthday cake was red velvet, 3 tiers, $60, beautifully decorated. Nobody touched it. A perfect metaphor, really. Something sweet and impressive on the outside, but ultimately wasted. A pretty lie that ended up in the trash, just like everything else.